Congresswoman Ilhan Omar's story is one of resilience, hope, and the pursuit of justice in the face of adversity. Her journey is a powerful example of transformation in American politics, showing how new voices can shape the nation's future. Born in Somalia, Omar and her family were forced to flee the violence of civil war, enduring years of uncertainty in a Kenyan refugee camp before finally immigrating to Minneapolis in 1995, searching for safety and opportunity. In the heart of the vibrant Somali American community, Omar learned English, became a U.S. citizen at just 17, and dedicated herself to public service, determined to give back to the country that gave her a new start. Her early work as a community organizer and policy advocate gave her first-hand insight into the struggles of immigrants, refugees, and working families, inspiring her to fight for equity and justice. In 2016, Omar made history as the first Somali American elected to a U.S. state legislature. Just 2 years later, she broke another barrier, becoming one of the first Muslim women ever elected to Congress, marking a new era of representation. As a prominent member of the Squad, Omar champions bold, progressive policies on healthcare, climate action, and social justice, working alongside other trailblazing congresswomen to push for meaningful change. Her background as a refugee fuels her passionate advocacy for immigrant rights, and her willingness to challenge the political establishment has made her a leading voice for those often left unheard. Omar's rapid rise has inspired countless people across the country, especially immigrants and young women, but her outspoken views have also made her a polarizing figure in American politics. Supporters see her as a courageous voice for the marginalized and a champion for justice. Critics often target her for her stances on foreign policy and her willingness to criticize U.S. and Israeli policies, sparking heated debate. Through it all, Omar remains a trailblazer, redefining what it means to be an American leader and inspiring a new generation to get involved in public life. Her journey is a testament to the power of perseverance, the importance of representation, and the ever-evolving face of American democracy. In December 2025, former President Donald Trump escalated his attacks on Ilhan Omar, calling her garbage and mocking her hijab during a cabinet meeting. That same day, at a Pennsylvania rally, Trump broadened his rhetoric, declaring, "I don't want them in our country," targeting Somali immigrants as a whole. He accused Somali Americans of ripping off the taxpayer and importing problems from their home country. Trump's remarks were calculated, energizing his base by framing immigration as a threat to American identity. The rally's "Get 'em out" chant quickly spread online, fueling debate and outrage. For Trump's supporters, Omar became a symbol of the changes they opposed. For critics, his words were blatant xenophobia. The speech signaled that immigration and cultural identity would remain central to Trump's political messaging. The fallout was immediate, with the nation split over the meaning and impact of his words. Trump's comments ignited a political firestorm in Washington and across the country. Democrats and civil rights groups condemned the remarks as racist and dangerous, rallying around Omar as a symbol of the American dream. Some Republicans distanced themselves, while others echoed Trump's rhetoric, deepening partisan divides. Conservative media highlighted a Minnesota fraud scandal involving some Somali Americans, using it to justify Trump's stance. Liberal outlets warned that such rhetoric could incite violence and further marginalize minority communities. Somali American leaders condemned the generalizations, sharing stories of resilience and contribution to counter the negative narrative. Community organizations held press conferences and meetings determined to reclaim their story. The controversy exposed two separate media realities, each shaping public opinion in starkly different ways. For Somali Americans, the moment was both a challenge and a call to unity. Fueling the controversy was a major fraud case in Minnesota, where federal prosecutors alleged that some individuals, including Somali Americans, stole over $1 billion from child nutrition programs. Conservative media seized on the story, amplifying claims that the fraud was even larger and linking it to immigration policy failures. Trump cited the case as evidence for his harsh rhetoric, framing it as a defense of taxpayers. Critics argued this was scapegoating, using the crimes of a few to justify attacks on an entire community. Somali American leaders condemned the fraud and called for justice, but urged the public not to stereotype their community. The debate quickly became less about facts and more about identity and belonging. The complexity of the case was lost in the political crossfire, fueling division and mistrust. The scandal became a symbol, wielded by both sides in the broader immigration debate. After Trump's rally, Minneapolis saw a surge in ICE activity, especially in Somali American neighborhoods. Residents reported increased fear and anxiety, feeling targeted regardless of their citizenship status. The situation escalated when ICE briefly stopped and questioned Omar's US-born son, an act widely seen as political intimidation. The administration insisted these were routine operations, but the timing raised suspicions. Legal aid groups saw a spike in calls from panicked residents, and the fear of deportation spread even among citizens. The incident with Omar's son became a symbol of the chilling effect on the community. Trump's administration used executive power aggressively, reinforcing its tough-on-crime image. For supporters, these actions were proof of decisive leadership. For critics, they were evidence of targeted harassment. The events deepened the sense of vulnerability among immigrants and heightened national debate over enforcement. Ilhan Omar responded to Trump's attacks with defiance, calling his focus on her a creepy obsession. She drew on her past, reminding the public that words can't shake someone who's survived war and displacement. Somali Americans echoed her resilience, expressing disappointment but also pity for the president's anger. The community mobilized, holding rallies and sharing stories of their contributions as business owners, doctors, and teachers. Rather than retreat, they built solidarity, joined by local politicians and civil rights groups. The attacks, intended to isolate, instead galvanized support for Omar and her constituents. The moment became a rallying point, strengthening bonds within the community and with allies. Omar and her supporters refused to be defined by hate, standing firm in their place in America. Trump's attacks on Omar were just one part of a tumultuous December, a month marked by a series of controversies that dominated headlines and public conversation. After the sudden death of director Rob Reiner, Trump posted a callous message blaming Trump derangement syndrome, drawing rare bipartisan condemnation from both Democrats and Republicans, who called his remarks insensitive and inappropriate during a time of mourning. Even some of Trump's usual allies, who often defended his rhetoric, criticized his lack of empathy, showing that there were still limits to political rhetoric, even in today's polarized climate. Trump, however, doubled down on his comments, refusing to apologize and instead reinforcing his combative image, which has become a hallmark of his political persona. In the same month, he also filed a $10 billion defamation lawsuit against the BBC, alleging malicious editing of his January 6th speech, and accusing the network of intentionally distorting his words to damage his reputation. The lawsuit came on the heels of high-profile resignations at the BBC, further escalating the conflict between Trump and the media, and fueling debates about press, responsibility, and political power. These controversies kept Trump at the center of the news cycle, energizing his base while simultaneously alienating critics and intensifying the national debate over his leadership. For his supporters, he remained a relentless fighter against the establishment and media elites, embodying their frustrations and hopes for change. Each incident throughout December reinforced his outsider status and the sense of perpetual conflict that has defined his political journey. December 2025 ultimately became a showcase of Trump's polarizing approach to politics, leaving the nation divided and the world watching closely. The Trump-Omar conflict is a microcosm of America's deepest divisions, over immigration, identity, and the meaning of the American dream. It's a clash that reveals how the nation's past and future are constantly in tension, with each side drawing on different visions of what America should be. Trump's rhetoric taps into nativist fears, while Omar's story embodies the promise of inclusion and opportunity. Their public personas have become symbols, rallying points for those who feel left behind, and those who see hope in diversity. Supporters of each see the other as a threat to the nation's future. The polarization is so intense that compromise often seems impossible, deepening mistrust and fueling further division. The Minnesota fraud case became a political weapon, with each side using it to reinforce their worldview. For some, it's proof of corruption. For others, it's a targeted attack. Media fragmentation means Americans receive vastly different versions of the same events, making consensus elusive. The information landscape is so fractured that even basic facts are up for debate. The debate forces the nation to confront questions about who belongs and what values define America. It challenges citizens to reflect on the ideals that have shaped the country for centuries. It's a struggle between security and compassion, free speech and responsible leadership, unity, and diversity. These tensions are not new, but they feel more urgent than ever. The outcome will shape immigration policy, national identity, and the country's direction for years to come. The stakes are high, and the decisions made now will set precedents for future generations. This is not just a political fight, it's a defining moment for American society. The choices made in this era will determine what kind of nation America becomes. The choices made now will echo for generations, shaping the lives and dreams of those yet to come.